Hello everyone, this is White Wolf. We're going to be going live, and I wanted to talk about getting rid of the negative, removing the negative, not adding the negative within your day. And what it means to not be negative, it means to not even be overly positive, but having a firm balance of what it means to empower. And when we're choosing to not be negative, we're choosing not to doubt what we're creating or what we're intending or what we're trying to bring forth. And when you remove the negativity out of your life, what you're doing is that you're not only removing the negativity that we bring on ourselves, but we're also removing the negativity that we attract to ourselves. It could be the people that we're attracting, it could be the relationships that we're attracting. Every time that we remove the negativity, we're removing the things that are blocking us from attracting more within our lives and accumulating more spiritual mass, and understanding by determining the very factor of what it means to really remove the negative out of your life. It means that you're coming at it from a much different perspective, and you're choosing to look at it from a much higher perspective, and you're choosing to remove what limits you, remove what doesn't allow you to create. And removing what we feel the negative is really distortion. It really is unworthiness, it's a lack of drive, it's a lack of attention, it's a lack of an awareness. And then when we remove the negative out of our life, we're choosing to be more positive. But we're not being overly positive or a running away positive, but we're choosing to empower how we want to be seen, how we want to be respected, but how we want to be treated, but also how we want to empower everything that we are, instead of choosing being negative about yourself or about the certain situation, or creating resistance or creating lack out of something. So when you're choosing to be more positive, more empowering, more elevating within your energy, you're always going to choose the most abundant thing, and you're always going to choose the thing that makes you the most free at that moment in time, because you're choosing free will when you're choosing not to be negative. Now, a lot of people choose negativity because it's easier to put yourself down, it's easier to put someone else down, it's easier to project that. But then we choose not to do it because it doesn't make sense to us, because we've seen past the root cause and the lesson behind negativity. So every time that we're being negative about something, we're perpetuating this self-pity or this egoic nature of what it means to create. Then we are really limiting the amount of times that we're thinking a negative thought, that we're thinking about something that is negative, or projecting something that is negative, or even feeling like we haven't reached our full potential. But we choose to empower that because every single day we choose to work on ourselves. We choose to progress upon the moment that we are and upon the person that we are, so that we're able to remove the negativity as it presents itself, but also accepting and understanding the bias and understanding that you are not the negativity that you assume yourself to be. You are not the negative beliefs. You are not the limiting beliefs that are attached to the negativity or the unworthiness or the lack that we create within our reality. It's a complete an illusion that we always tap into. So then we choose to empower it, or more positive, or more goal-oriented, or more ambitious, or more action-oriented. And then we're able to see that being negative is actually not creating more within my life. It's actually detracting what I want to attract within my life. So the amount of times that we don't dwell in those thoughts or those emotions or those certain patterns or those certain past lifetime progressions, then we're able to come from a much different vantage point, and then we choose to not be negative about this perspective or this circumstance or this experience. But we come at it from a present tense moment, and understanding that when you're present with every moment, that means you're channeling the future. But if you're negative about that moment and you regurgitate that moment, or you regurgitate that thought, and you keep perpetuating the bias or the falsehood of the identity ego that we assume ourselves to be, because instead of thinking of the sense of me, now we're thinking of the sense of we, and we're coming back into unity and to balance. So now that we're able to do that, we are able to not decide on the negative. We're not dwelling on the negative. We're not choosing to be more negative, but we're seeing that the negativity that we feel all the time is actually not what we want to bring back into the awareness. So when we don't bring back the negativity and we don't bring back the awareness of lack, the awareness of being unworthy, the awareness of not feeling good about this certain situation, then it's not even like you're thinking, but you're making the distinct choice of changing the polarity of positive and negative. And when you choose to do that, you're choosing to live. You're choosing to live life. You're choosing to breathe life within your space. And you're not choosing to create from a negative standpoint. So when we're not creating from a negative standpoint or thinking about it in a negative standpoint, then we're always thinking of the energy of progression. So instead of regressing, we're progressing. So one of the things that I always think of when there is doubt or there is resistance or there is negativity, do I think of it as a real thing? Do I think of it as truth? Do I think of it as something that is going to benefit me and help me progress along my journey? And then maybe I can look at it, but I don't have to take it on and I don't have to indulge in it. And sometimes it's the ability to not be attached to it anymore and to let go of it. But even letting go of it is still forcing yourself to like change it and indulge it and feel like you have to be into the negative sensations or anything like that. So when we change our viewpoint, when we change our perspective, when we change our truth, when we follow our resonance and our desire, then everything about our life completely changes because we're choosing to be positive. We're changing the polarity. We're changing the causes and effects and the way that we manifest and generate, and we become more of an attracting force within our lives. Then it really shows us and demonstrates to us that we can absolutely feel like absolute shit the entire day, and then all of a sudden the downloads come in. Organically you change, and then organically you become supernatural. And then all of a sudden you're back into your state because you could have been integrating a past lifetime progression. You could have been dealing with your emotional state, or you could be dealing with your thoughts even. And you could be dealing with even a circumstance, or maybe you were dealing with your child or something like that. It could be a whole plethora of things, but it's really understanding that you're not dictated by the negativity. The negativity is just there as a guidance mechanism. And also, that was my opening for this live. I hope you guys are well. I have 1-hour sessions for psychic readings, healings, activations for $120. And when I do live readings, I have donations for $15. So if you ever see me go live, just let me know, and things of that nature. So seeing the truth and seeing things through a positive lens and seeing things from a vantage point of wanting to heal, wanting to progress, and wanting to alleviate. Then when you alleviate that stress and that worry and that bias and the anxiety, then you're able to change it, and the traits that you have about yourself, your personality traits, they ultimately become the gifts that you possess. So your traits, the traits that you don't like, the things about yourself that you don't like, become your gifts. And when you're able to change the way you think, when you're able to change the way that you are, when you're able to transform the present moment here and now, then you're not dictated by the awareness of the negativity, or it coming and screaming at you in the face, or coming from the side, or there's an interference energetically, and then you're able to kind of see it for what it is, but you don't tap into the energy. You don't feel like you need to take on the energy. You don't feel like you need to converse the energy. You don't feel like you need to go around the merry-go-round again, and then suddenly you just transform your state in that moment. And there's a purification, there's an awareness there, and there's a way that you're not going about it in a negative standpoint, but you're choosing to transform your current state. So, if you've never been here before, this is White Wolf. I hope you guys are doing well. We're going to be doing healing energy. So we're going to help heal and remove negative attachments, emotions, and blockages, and things of that nature. So if you wanted to stay tuned for the live as well, and also book private sessions. And also just understand that the whole point of this live was to really reinforce that joy is not what we always think it is. It's not being overly positive. It's not love and light your way out of everything. But it's kind of making the distinction, do I want will and do I want to be free? So free and will, like we say free will, if you put it together and put a little dash there, they go kind of hand in hand. To be free, you have to have the willingness to be free. And you have to have the willingness inside of yourself to choose freedom. So they're kind of connected there together, and just think of a dash there. So free and will, you have to have God willpower to be free. And you have to choose freedom to finally have the willingness to not choose a negative way of creating. And then once we do that, then we automatically just channel, and then we have automatic decisions, and it's not based on impulse, it's not based on being reactatory, but it's being proactive towards the present moment on how to not be negative in this situation. Some of you are like, what the hell is this guy talking about? But that's kind of the point, is that when we're channeling, when we're giving messages, and we're wanting to instruct and teach, we're really wanting to bring forth the channel that we're receiving and the intuition that we're receiving from our meditation, from our experiences, from the spiritual journey itself. And the only way that you can do that is to just be real and authentic and true, and really always know what your message is. And then it will just come out organically. You don't have to write it down, you don't have to think about it, just do it and just say it. And it doesn't matter if you got a word wrong, or if because I know I've said some words in this whole entire live where I probably didn't enunciate it correctly, but it's not about that, it's about the energy that's behind it. Does that make sense? So that's even when you're doing a live session or a private session, you really just have to be yourself. You have to be true to yourself. You have to have acceptance beyond your own personal biases. And then when you have that acceptance, then you have the ability to create. You have the ability to perpetuate something that is real instead of perpetuating something that is not real. So it's like changing my relationship from a negative one to be free, and that's my willpower. Like, absolutely. That could be your mantra. That could be the very first thing that you wake up in the morning to, and that could be very impactful. And it doesn't get done in a day, and you will have your days energetically where you're not at your peak, at your most exact, at your laser sharp. But suddenly, those are the days that are most impactful, and those are the days where you should come up with something, because then something might come out of you. Very vulnerable, very real, very raw. And then you're able to transmute that negative energy, that dark energy, into light, and then you're able to bring them together, and then they come into this beautiful creation and this union and this embodiment that changes the polarity and the electricity and the magnetic force, generating that positive energy instead of generating the negative energy. So that there is this innate fertility that comes out of you. The ability to grow, the ability to see, the ability to be truthful, and the ability to just keep clearing and just obtaining your worthiness. But it's not even just healing and clearing, but it's just choosing to do that, choosing to be present in that moment. And then everything around you will just change, and everything around you will just grow, and then everything around you will just recalibrate itself and change into a much different configuration of positive energy. So that the wires are not crossed, but they're interconnected to the many different frequencies of universal love and the spiritual origination, your soul tribe, your first existence ever, your parallel aspects, the monad, the I am presence in different realms, different planes, and different universes. And you can be connected to all of that because we're experiencing all that simultaneously. So therefore, now we're kind of understanding that if we choose from a negative state, we're having negative causes and effects. If we're choosing from a positive state, then we are choosing a way to change the generation of energy, change the manifestation, but also change the causes and effects that interwove and intersect so that they're able to coalesce and encompass upon. I hope that made a lot of sense. I feel like it did. Sometimes I feel like when I talk, I don't make a lot of sense. To some people, like some people are like, can you repeat that? If I had to do that, then I'd have to spend another 20 minutes to do that. So yeah, be positive, be empowering, be free, and have the willingness to choose it. That's my advice. That's my soliloquy. But we're going to do some healing energy. And with this healing energy, I want you to feel as if it is a way to clear the energy, to remove blockages, to remove negative emotions, but also attachments or ways of looking at something in a very egoic and very selfish way, and having a sense of purity shine forth through this energetic healing that you're receiving. So you can accept this healing and receive it, and also you guys can book private sessions, 1 hour for $120. My PayPal and Cashapp's in the description below. And we're just going to start. Allow yourself to remove blockages, negative emotions, negative sensations, distortions from other lifetimes, and just allow yourself to remove the negativity out of your day. But allow yourself to have the light come crashing through, and allow yourself to really empower yourself to become that Infinity 8 symbol, to become that twin heart, aligning the heart to the mind, to the gut instincts, and allowing everything to come back into sync with who you are. So receive a heart activation. Allow your heart to have protection. Allow your heart to align to your inner child, to remember when times were simpler, when times were more fun, when you were more carefree, and you didn't have all the stresses of being an adult. So activate the heart. And Archangel Michael, Gabriel, and Sandalphon is also going to activate the throat as well. We're going to activate the ears as well. Archangel Michael and Gabriel and Sandalphon are helping activate the ears, the throat, and the nose. And then activate the third eye as well. And then shooting through the causal chakra. A bionic blue light and a violet flame is coming through the causal chakra and then all the way down to your feet to ground you back deep into Middle Mother Gaia Earth. Archangels of Love and Light, who's one of the cleanses of our work field, tapping into God's Source energy and the Great I Am, diving deep into Middle Mother Gaia Earth. We have the Source Dragon, the Magenta Dragon, to help us tap into the 9th dimension. The Source Dragon to help us tap into the vibration of God, the sensation of God. The Dark Blue Galactic Dragon to help us align to our 5th dimensional blueprint. And we also have my golden dragon Ezekiel to help us download Metatron's cube into our consciousness. Jesus is going to activate the solar plexus as well. And now we are going to hold space for the entire collective. And allow yourself to create from your electromagnetic kinetic source energy field. Sending out those loving vibrations and giving and receiving. Have love and compassion for yourself. And this beautiful rainbow energy is coming in very vastly, so and every time you see a rainbow, just know it for it being a gift and accepting that gift. And we're going to ground even further into the earth. And we're going to connect with the tree people as well. So anything you want to say with I am positivity, I am love, I am merciful, or I am that I am. It doesn't have to be something crazy, but it just has to be something like I am positivity, I am love, I am breath, I am life. Because the tree people say these things. They don't really talk much, but they only say I am because they are made in the creation of God. So all they say is I am, and a lot of them don't even talk because they speak to you telepathically. And a lot of these tree people are connecting with you telepathically, sending energetic codes and downloads, and sending a configuration of light, a reflection of light, back into our beingness. Also, they're having a very cleansing energy, helping with the blockages, helping with the subtraction, helping with removing toxicities, distortions, egos, and also shadows as well. So just allow the tree people to work with you. I've worked with them many times. They're very silent, they're very quiet, but they're very peaceful beings. They're very simple, but also complex at the same time. As the transmission is coming to a close, allow yourselves to take a deep breath. Exhale. And you are the oracle of love, light, and wisdom. And so it is. So that was the healing energy for you guys. I hope you really enjoyed it. And thank you guys for being a part of the live itself. And also you guys can book private sessions with me. This is White Wolf. I hope you guys are doing well. And also just let me know if you want to book private sessions. It's 1 hour for 120. For hour sessions, if it's 2 hours, it's 220. So if you're coming into the feed, thank you guys so much for being a part of that live and the healing energy that was commenced, and the tree people and the guides coming in very strongly, usually with healing energy that I had to have the guides come in. So it's kind of interesting how the divine works. And with this live, what was really the point of it was just removing the negative energy, wanting to remove the lack or the doubt or the bias within ourselves so that we're able to change within ourselves and transmute the energy and transform it. So thank you guys so much. God bless. Namaste. And until next time, this is White Wolf. God bless. Signing off, and so it is.